Yeah, so this was the prison farm program. There were 6 farms left. I mean, at one time, almost every institution, whether it be hospital or prison, had farms because they used that food to serve that institution. But over the number of years, decades, those programs got cut, and these were the last 6. Joyceville was one of them. And at one time, they had a greenhouse program where inmates were selling nursery plants and compost to the public from the institution. There's an abattoir at Joyceville as well, which it might actually still be operating because there's a private contractor that was in there doing a slaughterhouse. But all the other, I mean, the whole farm program no longer exists, so there are no more prison farms at the federal level in Canada. Well, the land is still farmland. They're leasing a couple of farms out for crops to local farmers. There haven't been any decisions made yet. It's still there. The kind of the worrying thing is that there was a municipal planning document that came out about a year ago that kind of slates that land as potential future development land. So, you know, as you know, being from Kingston, it's right in the middle of the city, and it's enormous, you know, hundreds of acres right in the middle of Kingston, which obviously, you know, the potential development of houses and, you know, commercial businesses there, that's where the money is, right? So, but as of right now, nothing has happened to that land. That's an interesting question. So yes, I mean, generally, prison labor is practically free because the inmates are working for, you're talking like $2 a day kind of thing, and that's, I guess, to a certain extent why prison farms can be so profitable. And in fact, while this film was being made in the States, they were opening up prison farms, South Carolina, because, you know, they don't pay the inmates anything, which is a struggle, because when you kind of follow that thread and you have people who finish their sentences and they're going to be let out and they have no money, so then all of a sudden you're sending somebody with no resources and, you know, potentially not having had much recent time in the community living as a, you know, a free person. So then all of a sudden, how are they going to be able to pay rent and whatever bills and food and all this stuff? So that is a big issue. In fact, the Conservative government has rolled back wages even more and is charging inmates some board fee, like some fees for them to actually be staying in the prison, which is a little bit absurd if you kind of think about it. But well, it's hard to be able to tell. I mean, I guess really it depends on the next election, which is coming up later this year. Even now, you saw that they took out the farm and they put in the laundry facilities for the military. So that's internal departments that are getting basically that free labor. Is it feasible to imagine that as prisoner populations go up and they want, you know, to be able to use that manpower, as you say, you know, it's very possible that's the direction that we're heading. And privatization was another thing that came up a lot while we were making the film. You know, the idea that somehow it might be cheaper to just hire a private company, and this happened in the States a lot, you know, and just have prisons run as private institutions. You start to see a lot more of that kind of stuff that happens, I think, especially in that case, and that's, you know, always a big danger when the philosophy of the government that's in power right now is continuing to do their thing. So I think it's definitely something to be aware of. Yeah. Well, right now we're just trying to reach out to organizations. I mean, we've been really grateful. Cinema Politica saw the film. I connected with Ezra at Hot Docs in Toronto, and I sent him the film. And they have a network that goes across the country, and so we're going to try to be getting the film screening that way across the country. We're also reaching out, like the John Howard Society, which has a national reach, we screened it at their AGM, and so that managed to connect with a number of people. So we have been trying to get it out there, like I say, over the next few months as much as possible. We've had screenings in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia. This is our Quebec premiere. We're doing a Toronto premiere in June. So we're trying, but if you know people, here's a little plug. We have the film on DVD is available on the merch table outside to purchase, sliding scale $10 to $20, and it's the kind of thing that share with your communities, invite people over, have some snacks, and show it to them. It's just, I think that's how things happen. Is just word of mouth, and the more people who can be made aware of it. Because I don't know how many people heard about the closure of Canada's prison farm program before they came and saw the film. It wasn't really a huge issue at the time. It was locally probably the biggest story for the past 5 years or something like that at the time in Kingston. It was front page news all the time, but it didn't really get that reach. And that's part of what we're hoping to do with this film, is to try to get the story out there to a broader audience than the local Kingston audience. So. Yeah, please share it with people. And prisonfarmfilm.org is the website. The trailer is up there. And also, if people want to screen it in their own communities, wherever they are, then we'll help to make that happen.